Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Before I get into this week's video, I just want to say I am sorry for the construction noise. They are building an apartment building right across the street, so they should be done soon, hopefully, but whatever, we're gonna power through. I wanted to get this video shot before I lose daylight. So I wanted to do something a little different this week. Instead of doing a life update or a travel vlog, whatever, normally I'm gonna do some travel tips because I've been traveling for 5.5 months now, almost 6 months, which is crazy to think. And I'll do a video for my 6 months. It's crazy to think that I've been traveling for almost 5 months, but I wanted to share some of the tips and tricks that have gotten me through the past 5 months, things that I've learned that are important, that help me get through my day-to-day or get me from country to country, city to city, whatever. So without talking too much, I'm just gonna get right into it. And these are in no particular order of importance. You'll decide what's important for you, whatever applies to your next trip or your next travel around the world, whatever. Use it, don't use it, but at least you have it from me, someone who has been traveling. So like I said, let's just get into it. And if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving 3 bonus tips that have helped me tremendously in my travels. So without talking anymore, I'm just gonna get right into it and talk some more. My first tip is actually a 2-parter. It's read reviews and do your research. So reviews really do come in handy, whether you're booking a hostel or an Airbnb or a hotel or a resort, or you're trying to get information on an airline, read reviews. I'm somebody that I like to know what to expect before I go into something, so I read reviews for literally everything that I can, it works the same for restaurants, bars, whatever you want. Read a review so you can see what other people's experiences are, so you can kind of get an expectation of what your experience is going to be. But of course, experiences are subjective, but it still helps to know what the fuck you're gonna get into. And then the second part is do your research. There's a good chance that you're not the first person to go somewhere, whether it's a city, a country, or like I said, a restaurant, bar, whatever. Someone has been there, and there's a good chance someone has written about it or talked about it or whatever. So there's so many different tools that I use when I'm looking up places to go. There's local Facebook groups, expat Facebook groups, there's TikTok, Twitter, and of course YouTube. Of course YouTube. YouTube is probably my strongest resource that I use when I'm looking up where I want to go next, because there's so many travel bloggers and content creators who are out here just doing the exact same thing that I want to do. So it's always nice to watch a video so I can get an idea of what they did and how they did it and what their experience was, so I can, like I said, get an expectation of what I can expect, give or take. All right, tip number 2, I would say, is to respect the locals. When you are traveling to a new place where you don't speak the language, or you don't speak the language fluently, or even if you do speak the language fluently, it helps to just be mindful of the people who live there, who have been there their whole lives, and who are from there, because your interaction with locals can really make or break your experiences. Like, I found that locals, especially in Latin America where I've been for the past 5 months, are extremely friendly, and they can definitely be helpful in your adversaries as you're out here, because if you're somewhere that you've never been before, it helps to be able to talk to the people who live here, who know where to go, who know what to do. So when you're here, just be respectful. A big part of Latin America is panhandling, so people will come up to you and try to sell you things or ask for money, and if you have it, you can give it to them, no problem. But if you don't, or if you don't feel like giving it to them, be respectful when you're saying no. Like a no gracias, mi amiga goes very, very far around here. Because like I said, the people are very friendly and they're very helpful, but they also don't make as much on average as we do as travelers, getting paid in other currencies. So I do try to be respectful, and I try to be mindful and not step on anybody's toes, and not try to piss anybody off. But with that, also, I would say, don't let them fuck you over, because some of them, not all of them, like I said, they're all very nice, but some of them will try to charge you a gringo price, and gringo prices just means that they know you're not from here, so they're going to charge you a lot more than they would charge somebody who was from there. So it's definitely something to keep in mind when you're traveling, is that yes, the locals can be friendly, yes, they can be nice, yes, they can be helpful, but they're also going to try to charge you more because you're not from here. So with keeping all that in mind, I just try to be as respectful as possible, while also being, safe and courteous. So keep that in mind. Tip number 3, and this is one that I had to learn the hard way, is know the conversion rate. Know what your money is worth, whatever currency you're using, whether it's USD or euros or pounds. Know what it's worth in the country you're in, because if you don't, like I said, those gringo prices, they will sneak up on you and you'll be overpaying a lot. I won't go into details, but I've definitely overpaid for some stuff that was like, what, and it kind of goes back to like talking to locals. Like, ask them what they pay for things and compare. Like, you obviously may not get the same exact price as a local, but you definitely should be paying like 10 times what the locals pay, because that's just ridiculous. So know what your money is worth and know the conversion rate. I use an app, and I'll insert a clip of the app that I use. It's just a simple conversion app. You type in what they're charging in pesos or colones, wherever you're at. That's colones is Costa Rica. You type that in and it'll tell you how much it is in USD, and do that before you pay for anything. Like, people here are super patient. So if you need to pull your phone out and find out how much something costs in your currency, do that before you pay, because there's a chance you could get fucked, you know? So I definitely recommend having an app, or just knowing. Some people don't use an app. Some people use their calculator, or just know. I use the app because it's fairly accurate. And the app updates because currency rates do change. They do fluctuate depending on where you are. So it's just nice to have that handy little tool so you know exactly what you're paying for before you pay for it. Simple enough. Tip number 4, and this is a pretty big one. This is one that I've had to learn over the last couple of months, and that's trust your gut. You have instincts. If something doesn't feel right, whether it's in English or in Spanish, and the person's talking to you in English or Spanish, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it, because there's a good chance it's probably not for you. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. Say no. You always have the right to say no, because no's the same. No's the same in every language. So if you don't want to do something, or something doesn't feel right, or something feels sketchy, say no. Trust your gut, because it's better to say no and not get involved in something than to say yes and then it goes completely wrong. Because it does happen. It does happen. It's only happened to me a couple times where I just ended up in situations, and it wasn't like dangerous or anything like that, but it was situations where I should have said no and I didn't, and I ended up just not having a good time, or, you know, regretting it. So definitely trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, just back out, you know, respectfully say, you know, no, thank you, I don't want to do this anymore. And people will respect that, or, you know, and they'll leave you alone, or they'll go on about their business, try to find somebody else to get to do whatever they were trying to get you to do. It's super simple, easy like that, but it will take you very far. Trust your gut. The instincts that you've always had, you still have them when you're traveling, so use those to help you navigate through these new and exciting places, and it will definitely make the difference. Tip number 5 kind of goes along with tip number 4, and that's, don't be afraid to say yes though. So yes, trust your instincts, yes, trust your gut, but also don't be afraid to say yes, because saying yes will, and I know that's contradictory, but I promise it makes sense. Like, by saying yes to new and exciting experiences, you gain new and exciting experiences. Like, you say yes to things and you have more fun, or you try new foods, or try new drinks, and go see new places, and go do things with people that you would have never even, you know, experienced if you had said no, or if you just kind of like ignored somebody when they were trying to get your attention. So yes, trust your gut, yes, trust your instincts, but also, like, be open to new experiences. If you're going to be traveling the world, you obviously already have an open mind, so lean into that, lean into new things, new and exciting things, because you'll never know where you'll end up. But also, don't be naive, and don't be easily manipulated, or I don't know how to say that, but saying yes has also got me into some very exciting situations that I definitely wouldn't have been able to experience if I had said no. So there you have it, guys. That's 5 travel tips, 5 things that I've learned over the past 5 months of traveling. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, more content is coming this year than ever before. So I got this video coming up, and then I gotta do some more videos. Currently, I'm in Tulum. I've been here this is my 2nd week in Tulum. I didn't like it at first, but I'm definitely warming up to it. It's beautiful here. I'm here for another couple of days, and then I'm moving on to another city. I'm in Mexico until like the beginning of February, and I have no idea where I'm going next, but I will be deciding in the next couple of weeks. So stick around to find out where I go next. As always, I really do appreciate you guys, and I will see y'all next time. Thanks. As promised, if you stuck around to the end, I'm going to be giving 3 bonus tips that are very helpful when you're traveling. So bonus tip number 1 is bring shower shoes. If you're staying in hostels, or really anywhere, bring shower shoes. They weigh almost nothing, and you will use them every single day. I recommend you use them every single day, because I've been staying in hostels for the better part of the past 5 months, and some of the showers are pretty fucking gross. Like, some places get cleaned every day, some places do not. So it's good to have a pair of shower shoes, because you never know what you're gonna get when you pull that curtain back, and you don't want to fuck up your trip by catching some type of foot fungus or whatever. So always have shower shoes and use them every single time, because it's better to be safe than to be sorry when it comes to that. Bonus tip number 2 is bring earbuds. Bring some type of earbud. I use AirPods because Babies cry on planes and you don't want to hear that, and people snore in hostels and you definitely don't want to hear that when you're trying to go to sleep yourself. So bring some type of earbud, AirPod to plug it up so you don't have to listen to unwanted noises. And my final bonus tip is check entry requirements. Whether you're going on a round trip or you're doing a one-way, check entry requirements, because the last thing you want to do is get to the gate and you can't get on the plane because you don't have a return flight, or you can't leave because you don't have COVID test, or you aren't vaccinated, or whatever the case may be. So always make sure to check entry requirements. And a friend of mine actually gave me a really good website to use as a resource when you're planning your trip, and I will leave that website in the description so you can check that out below. Check all your boxes, make sure you have everything you need to get to the country and to get back if that's what you're interested in, or to move on to your next country if that's what you're doing instead. Like I said, thanks for watching, guys. I will be putting out a new video next week, hopefully. So yeah, thanks.